Hey everyone, we're back. This is Midwest Chicana episode, and we have some amazing people with us tonight. Hey Munch and hey Diosselyn, how are you?
Hi, good. Good,
Good.
good.
I am honored to have Diosselyn always, and thank you so much for doing this with me again. And Munch, I am girling right now. I didn't tell you that before, but total fangirl. I was
Thank
telling
you.
her earlier that I ran into her at the quaff because that's where we used to go before COVID a lot. And my sister was like, "You gotta ask Munch. You gotta ask Munch." I'm like, "Who is Munch?" Like, and then I saw this big old pack of people together. And she was in the middle, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm never gonna go ask her to be a." She'll probably be like, "Whatever." But like I had told her, you were just amazing. You were like, "Hell yeah, whatever you need, just get a hold of me." So ever since then, I contacted you on Facebook, and I've just been watching all your live episodes that you've been doing during COVID, and so appreciative.
Hey,
Thank you so much for being here.
thank you for having me. I'm honored, honestly.
We're honored to have you. So, and Diosselyn, thank you for hooking this up.
No, yes, a pleasure. I know that this is going to be a great story, and I'm excited to hear about it and learn more about Munch as well.
Yes. And
Yeah.
we're waiting for Angeles from Angel's Nail Salon. She's an amazing owner. And Diosselyn, you want to talk about her for a little bit, and hopefully she'll connect with us, and we'll zoom her in.
Yeah, so Angel has her salon. It's called Angel Salon, and she started off as like everybody, as an entrepreneur, doing her work. Slowly built up, and now she has her salon. She actually started a couple of months, I think, before COVID, and she has been able to sustain it right now. She has an amazing mural in her salon done by Vania Soto, and she also does amazing nails. I actually go to her all the time. My sister goes to her all the time. I know a lot of friends that go to her. She does different styles. She does different artwork in them. And that's what I like about it. You can bring your ideas to her, and she'll try to make it as close to it and put her own style in it. And I'm just amazed all the time. Every time that I see her do her work and all the outcomes and even her page, I'm just like, how does she do that? All that patience, all that skill set. Yeah, it's a lot. And I really like her. I really like her services and hoping that she can join us soon. Diana, you're on mute. Sorry.
Oops.
Okay.
There we go. See, I can't even do this. So she comes in, we'll zoom her in. So, okay, let's get started then, because I'm so excited to hear your story, Munch, because I know some of your family and your mom, and it's kind of crazy how the world is so small here in Kansas City. So,
Yes.
why don't you start with like who you are? Like, let's not start the DJ stuff yet, but like, where you grew up, all of that.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm DJ Munch. I actually got that nickname when I was 11 years old because I was like the little munchkin around my sister and all her friends. And so ever since then, that name just stuck. And that's where the origin of Munch comes from is one of my sister's best friends. She actually gave me the nickname. So shout out to Rita Morales. Yeah, she gave me the nickname. But yeah, I'm born and raised on the West Side. Have a lot of pride for where I'm from. It's a great neighborhood, and I'm definitely just proud to be from the West Side for sure. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of it right there.
Well, when you said the West Side, I was like, okay, definitely strong community, family, forever, always like a piece of you. So what inspired you to even start this DJing, or was it even a thing at that point?
I think we're freezing a little bit.
Oh, sorry, I lost you for a second.
Yeah. Starting over again. Thank you.
Sorry. You're on mute again.
You're on mute again, Diana.
Telling you, it's this fangirling thing. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
It's okay.
So we have a question here though. So like where you went to school. So if you want to tell us a little bit about like where you grew up, like in your
Okay. Yeah.
where you went to and things like that. Because I think people are trying to figure out like where you're from and maybe they even know you and your family.
Yeah. So I went to numerous schools. Started out at Holy Name, went to OLG, Our Lady of Guadalupe, then ended up going to Primitivo Garcia, went there, then went to foreign language, went to Bishop Ward, and then finally I graduated from Oak Park. So we went from the west side to out north, and that was a very big culture change. And I struggled with, going from being comfortable around the people I was with at school to the major transition. And, but I mean, I got through it. So, I mean, it's, this doesn't last forever. It's just high school. But yeah. And then I did go to community college for a little bit, but honestly, I'm just a worker, and college just wasn't the direction I needed to go in. So.
Well, I was going to say that sounds almost exactly like my story. I think I went to every school at KCK, Harmon, Alta Vista, out in Northeast, and then went to a little bit of college. And it just shows you can be successful. It's just your path, right? Like you don't always go the normal path, I guess to say.
Right.
You can be successful and do your own thing and be great at it.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't like probably going to different schools made me grow the amount of people I know, because I know a lot of people. So
that's what I was going to say next. I was like, I bet you know a lot of different people in different areas. Do you think that, how does that play out in your life nowadays?
Oh, it's great because I'm diverse. I definitely, when it comes to the music, it's like I put the client first. And so whatever they want to hear, I will switch up my own style to be, pleasing for them. So I like to be diverse. I don't just stick to one genre. It's very open-minded with music. So
that's good. I really like different music styles. Because you get like, if it's ongoing with the same beat, you're like, okay, it's good. And eventually you're like, I'm ready for another beat. I really like how Munch does it too. I don't know if you guys have seen some of her Facebook Live, but if you can, you should. I really like the energy that she brings forth. I like the throwbacks that you do as well.
You're just talking about that. Just talking about that.
I really do. I love it. She'd be like, we're going to do throwbacks. And then she goes, it's like going through my childhood, remembering different things. You just there's this whole like good memories that come with it.
I like to tell people, like if you want to get in this time machine, let's go, because we'll go to different eras and decades and get a little bit of everything.
Okay, so we'll back up now so that way you can tell us your story and how you got into DJing. We also have some people interested in like how you started that whole ideal of the DJing and how that even became a thing.
Yeah. So pretty much, honestly, so my dad, he's a DJ, and my uncle, he DJs. So like DJing has just been something that's been in the family for like forever now. And then my grandpa is a huge like inspiration with my music. I mean, all the oldies and like all those really good songs like from back in the day, I know because of him. So really, family helped to create this mind of like all these different music, songs and everything. So I definitely, utilize my mom as well. She put me on so much music. My dad, every person really in my life has put me onto some different type of music. And it's just great to have so many different people around me that have a love for music. It just makes my love for music even more intensified. So, yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead, Diosselyn. Sorry, we're like,
Yeah, no, there's so much that I can say to that because I love how you kind of hit on, everything that you're putting out somehow represents your family. And I even started thinking how music tells a story, not even like, going beyond lyrics and everything like that. Just like a playlist can mean a lot of different things. I don't know. What do you think? Can you?
Oh yeah, I mean it's funny because I'm such a music head that like I'm pretty sure I can create a soundtrack and it can describe my life just through music, really, because that's how important music is to me. So yeah, I definitely get you on that. But going back to where like you said about me starting, pretty much I'm gonna just say it like this. I didn't even realize back in high school what I was doing. I used to bring this bag, and I don't wear purses. I'm not a girly girl, none of that. So like I would always have this bag and it had all my CDs in it because that's the era that I, was just brought up in. And I didn't realize what I was doing at the time. Whenever any of my friends were having high school parties, here I come with the CDs and I'm just playing all this music. And then that's kind of where I loved to like get people to dance. And I loved that feeling of just them getting hype off of just music, and so I think that's kind of really where it made me realize like, just getting on my uncle's equipment and realizing how natural it was. I didn't really need a whole lot of guidance on what to do. It was more natural. And so it was like, yeah, I think I need to, dig deeper and practice more and try not to give up because it's not as easy as what I think it's going to be,
So going with that, Munch, in regards to the not easy, because I know like when you are on there, it looks easy. It's just like, wow, and I want to do this. You hype us all up, and it's just like love, love, love it. So tell us a little bit about like what has been hard for you in this whole DJ world. Just first of all, being an entrepreneur and being a lady in this genre, and especially in Kansas City, like all of it.
Well, even being a Latina lady, that within itself, I mean, it's actually funny you say that because I just got a call not too long ago, and pretty much the lady was like, I was a little nervous that you're a female. And I'm like, hold on. Don't let that be, the factor. That somewhat has a little bit of a downfall for me, not gonna lie, but I definitely get a lot of respect though. And I think it's what you give out is what you get back, so me being respectful to people, I can see that I get it back. So that's not a huge downfall, but just having to kind of prove myself to people, then once the gig's over or whatever, I'm doing, then they're like, oh, okay. Like, I get more of like, the music speaks for itself.
I think that says a lot, having to prove yourself. Even though you're already amazing at what you do, just having to have that first, step to go through. Do you have to go through that often, or do you feel like that's something that initial thing and se te pasa?
Sorry, there was a fly actually.
Oh my God! I thought you were gonna start spinning, like you were gonna like bring it out, or something. To bring your stuff so you can like get a. I was gonna ask you a little bit of a taste of what you do.
No. Sorry, I was kind of distracted by the fly, to be honest.
No, you're good. My question was just, it's very interesting that you have to prove yourself, having to go through that step. And I was just wondering if you have to do you go through that often, or is that something that, just initial and you just went through it and now it's way better?
I really only go through it when it's like new clientele, those who don't really know, but typically a lot of my gigs are just word of mouth and people who know me and they give me a good rapport. And so typically I don't have to, because like you said, like here's the thing is I've been doing this now since 2009 was when I like actually did my first gig ever. And from that point until now, it's like I definitely get a lot more respect as opposed to than them earlier days. But it seems like I should really be a lot further. For me, at least, I feel like I should be a little further since I have been doing it since 2009. But, you know, things come up in life. Things happen. You don't realize, you know, the road isn't always that easy path. It takes a lot of hard work, and some things take you off the path, you know, but eventually, like, if you just like get past those, you know, trials and tribulations, you can eventually, you know, stay passionate with whatever goal you have, and you can still succeed. You know, it's really just about putting that goal set in mind and making it visual and putting it in your face, you know, just to remind you all the time, like, that's what you need to go for. And that's what's helped me. Like, I really, I formed my LLC back in 2018. And ever since then, I just really pushed it in gear. Like, I don't let, I mean, obviously things still happen in life, you know, but DJ Munch, my own business comes first now for me, as opposed to the little things, basically.
Okay, Munch, you got to talk to us about this business. I didn't even know that. And that is a huge
That's
thing.
amazing.
Yeah, that I give you props, and wow, especially in the DJ world. I mean, so tell us how that even started. Like, was it just something that you were like, I'm just going to do this, and, you know, or tell us about that.
So like, okay, so to be honest, but like back in like about 2014, I was just dealing with a lot of mental issues that the enemy was just getting to me, you know, and I was utilizing other things that weren't going to be productive to me. You know, I even had the wrong people around me, and you realize, you know, after a while, like, once you start having like actual really good people around you that are trying to strive for the same like goals as you, that really turns things around, you know. And I stay around people that are innovating and always thinking of ideas and just trying to strive for the best. I mean, it's funny because now a lot of my really good friends, they have their own businesses. And I love that because, you know, I feel like, man, one of my cousins told me, you know, you didn't realize this, but you're the first family member to actually own a business, you know. And I'm like, wow, like I didn't realize that, I guess, you know. So it seems like I said, like, it's easy, but it's definitely something that you work for, you know, and eventually things will go your way, you know.
That's amazing. You're being an entrepreneur, and I think that's really cool. I really want to hear more about that, just because you talked about you started very young and you brought your CDs with you, and you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes, to be honest with you, sometimes we're doing things without realizing that we're really in action already, and you were becoming that entrepreneur. So, I mean, you were being a trendsetter. Do you realize?
Right. I didn't realize that. I really didn't. Like, I didn't even know. I was like, oh, this is nothing, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, it's funny because I lived out north during high school, and I actually worked throughout high school and on the weekends, but I worked in the city. So like, my mom would always just let me come down here, and I'd stay with like cousins or tias or, you know, somebody, and work my 7 to 3 o'clock job, and then, you know, would be DJing the parties for the friends that night, you know, and throughout the week downloading music and using the sharpest little Sharpie, you know, to write all around. It was the struggle back then. But, you know, like I said, it wasn't easy, and I didn't realize, I mean, there was, you know, back in then times, if the CD was scratched, whoop, beep, 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 you know, so it's definitely been a long journey, a very long journey. But at the same time, it's like I'm still like not really where I want to exactly be. You know, I still have a lot more that I'm trying to strive for. But yeah, just staying goal oriented and not giving up.
So do you want to talk a little bit about where you plan to be? Is that something you want to talk about, or is it?
I mean, I don't mind. Honestly, I feel like I'm already setting myself like up for where I want to be. I want to be a successful, you know, I eventually probably want to be an entrepreneur, as far as like not working. but I love my job right now. I have an amazing job. I was at my previous job for 10 years, and just like last year, I transitioned, got a new job, and that was the best thing that I could have ever really done for myself because I was so comfortable with the previous job. But I mean, I want to just still continue to stay successful as far as getting booked and just growing my name and being more out there for people to hear the music.
What I love about you, Munch, is that first of all, you do phenomenal music. You bring it to the crowd, like you get us all involved, and it's just so down to earth. And I just feel like it's a friend, right? Like we don't even know each other; it's like a friend. But at the same time, just knowing your story, in that this is just a huge passion of yours, but you made that passion happen, and you had some things happen, in between there, and you still made it happen. Like you said, you went to so many different high schools, you went to a little bit of college, but you still made it happen. And I think that's what kids, and young adults, that are trying to get into this business or any business really needs to hear about, because you're a role model. I mean, I people try to tell me this in a weird way. I'm very humble. I feel like I need to be humble. I don't know. I grew up that way, but you are somebody in our community that is like a role model, and people look up to you, I'm sure, whether they tell you that or not. And I hope you know that, because you have an amazing story.
Thanks. Yeah, it is good. Every so now and then I'll get a message from just some random person on my Snapchat, like, "Hey, you're doing great," and I'm like, yeah. Thank you. Like I don't even realize it. So yeah, definitely people are watching you when you don't even realize it. And, you can make an impact in anybody's life, just as long as you're impactful, and spreading that good energy.
Go ahead, Diosselyn.
No, I definitely think that's something important to highlight on what Munch just said, just the fact that you're going to do it your own way. You're going to figure it out. You got to stick by it. And I think she even said this earlier, the people that you surround yourself, those people that are going to support you or encourage you, sometimes even show you the way, because they may know something that you don't know.
Right.
Yeah. So it's really cool. It's really cool, Munch. There is a lot to share, and there is a lot of, stories out there that probably resonate with yours. And again, like you're doing something that's not seen often. You're doing it out there. You build your own brand. A lot of people know you. People are seeking out for you. Like you said, it's all been by word. You have developed this network, this following.
Yeah, that's what I ultimately strive for when I go just to different places. Obviously, now with COVID, it's not the same as it was before. But I was really super big on networking, because it's not always what it's who you know as well. And you never know who you can stumble upon that has the same mindset as you. So
yes, I think Munch, I think we had a conversation a couple of months ago where we talked about networking, and I think you were doing one of your gigs with the Hispanic caucus. Am I wrong? You did like a dance at a salon. And
No. I did. I every year we do the Valentine dance for my cousin Manuel Barca, and so I've been doing that now for like 3 years, and yeah, it's just been growing, and it's always good, good vibes and good energy, and yeah. I've met a lot of different people from that. I've had people come up to me like, "Hey, you were at the Valentine dance," and I was like, "I was," but like there was a bunch of people there, so I don't know who you were.
And I think that's cool. Like you found this pathway into the community, to doing this what you love, your passion, and bringing it into that side as well. Doing it for your passion, doing it for organizations, and that's really cool, because those are the events that we all go to every once in a while, and to relax and discuss different things, and sometimes fundraisers, which are tremendously big for our organizations. And you're
right. That. Yeah, I definitely do not mind giving back, and just doing good for the community. For it really, it doesn't even necessarily need to be my community, like just really anybody that has an idea and they're trying to make their community better. I'm typically like, hey, okay, I like that. So, hop on board. But yeah, it's not always about just necessarily serving to my own. It's, just about the whole Kansas City area for me.
So, Munch, you were talking about your dad and that he did DJing, and I know your mom is very, very supportive. Actually, that's how I got a hold of you through Facebook, is because she tagged you and was like, okay, she's my daughter. And I'm like, what? This is a small world. So how influential were they for you, growing up? I mean, I can only imagine like having your record player and, records and just a house full of music. Can you tell us a little bit about that and like a little bit more on your growing up with your dad, especially being around DJing? Did you go to all the events he went to and things like that?
Actually, no, I didn't, to be honest. I have more memories of my dad more recent with his DJing than like back then. I remember somewhat of what he would do, but not a whole lot. My grandpa, he was the one that was more, he would make the tapes and then he would give them to my mom. And like, I was like, what is he doing? And then like, as I got older, I was like, oh my gosh, he's making his own mixtape. No, like he's cutting all these different songs.
Okay, that's a cool ass grandpa right there. Like that's the grandpa you want, right?
Yeah. My grandpa, he's definitely huge on oldies like R&B and stuff like that. As far as like doo-wop and 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. It's funny. I have a Spotify playlist just dedicated to him. I have like over 300 songs. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize.
You'll have to give us the name so we can follow it.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great playlist. Yeah. But again, my mom, she's always been into music. It's just a family, thing. I don't actually know Spanish, but my grandpa, raised me on Tejano and Little Joe and Mas and that type of stuff. So like I know it by sound, but not actually what they're saying, but I don't care. I'll still play it,
because it's good. I'm the same way. I don't know Spanish, so I understand. But when you hear the music, you know it, and you know which ones those are, right? You go out there and you dance them. So you do play that mix of Tejano music and cumbias and
yes. I'm actually, cumbia is my favorite Spanish like genre. Honestly, between all of them, I'm like I can probably chop up a 2-hour mix with just cumbia.
And she has the throwbacks on there too.
Yeah.
I love cumbia too. And you play sonideros, you play all different types of cumbias, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So do you get here in Kansas City, like what is the thing that you get booked for mostly here in Kansas City? What type of events before COVID were you getting hired for?
Really? Any event. I mean, birthday parties, quinceañeras, weddings, baby showers.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, everything.
Awesome.
Sometimes I'm like, what? I'm like, they're only turning 3, But I mean, hey, to each his own. You know how Mexicans like to party. But I mean, I cater to whatever events people want. I'm just like, let me know your idea, what type of genres you want, and let's go.
Yeah. What would you say to like aspiring DJs out there, especially Latina DJs here in Kansas City? And I'm to be completely honest with you, I don't really know a lot of other Latina DJs. I know a couple, but do you know, like, is there a community out there in Kansas City of Latina DJs?
Not that I'm aware of. I do know a few Latina DJs, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what their stories are. Just like people don't know mine. I pretty much, here's the thing. What I do is, I think I get this from my dad though. Anytime I go pre-COVID was going to certain events, I would just start networking with the DJs instantly. And then you just grow to like, show that love amongst each other. And then, I'm following them on their social medias. And then my friends would always be asking me, where should we go? Where should we go? Because you know where all the DJs are going to be at, you know? And I'm like, well, that's a part of the networking, you know? But I mean, I wish there was like some type of group or something. That actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. Might have to try to get like something like that of a community going. There is some female DJs in the Kansas City area too that I support and stuff, but I don't go to that many events to like really know everyone yet, you know.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a great idea. I mean, I feel like, you know, just to have that camaraderie and that, you know, community of DJs would be phenomenal, you know,
yeah,
here in the city for sure.
yeah. You just put a light bulb.
There you go.
I like these kind of conversations.
Because I think you all got to know each other's stories, and whether that's Latina, you know, Caucasian, Black. I mean, I think it's just so important to be able to know other people's stories here in your hometown. Because I mean, you guys are all working, you know, and doing this amazing stuff that you could actually network and help each other out in some way. I'm sure, you know, it doesn't have to be siloed.
Yeah, for sure.
Support systems for sure.
Yeah, definitely bringing to open up new doors for different individuals. And yeah, I'm over here even thinking further away. I'm even thinking, you know, how many more people would be willing to have these exposures or classes of being able to see what DJing looks like, because that might be their pathway as well, right? That might be something that, you know, really thinking about it, growing up, that wasn't an option that I was taught that could be.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be something really cool to see how many people will go into that. And there's so many careers in music. There's so many careers in music.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand you on that, because I've had numerous. I love the kids. Munch loves the kids. And so when I am DJing, the kids are just so enthused, you know, with what I'm doing, and they see my big mixer and they're like, oh my gosh. And you know, I've actually told some parents, like, hey, if you want me to like teach your kid, I'm open to that, because they have to, like, you know, they have to learn some way. And then if they don't even get that exposure, then it's like, how would they even know, you know? I mean, because I also have to understand, you know, even though it was natural for me, it might not be the same for everyone else, you know? So
yeah,
I think that's so important when you said that. Sorry, Diosselyn, real quick. Because yeah, you do need to try it out. And when you're younger like that, and you just like, oh, okay, I hate this. Don't ever want to do this again. Just giving them exposure to somebody, and they may have found, oh, but I want to do something else in music, you know. So I think that's exactly right.
Right, because there's so many different careers. I mean, music engineers and you know, producers and everything like that. Like, it's not just about DJing, you know. It can go, music can go in every direction. So
that'd be amazing to even see what that will look like later on in the
I can already see what you're doing, Diosselyn.
Yeah, you know, just, you know, throwing out things there, here and there. Munch's school and musical school.
I know. We were so excited to have you for the Latino Arts Festival, because we already had talked about having you as our DJ, and I'm so disappointed that we weren't able to do that. But you are, and hopefully you know this, I'm sure you do, that you are going to be opening up our Latino Arts Festival in September, the first opening day, which we're supposed to be doing it like September 2nd. And we are so excited to have you. I mean, you're just going to blow everybody away. And that's why I wanted to do this ahead of time, so people knew who you were, and put this all over the platform, so that way they know your story. They'll want to come see you do this amazing DJing and bringing this music, especially from Kansas City, you know, being a Latina and bringing this music out there. Like, who's this, you know?
Yeah, music brings people together, you know, and it don't matter where you're from. So
and Munch, you know, talking about bringing people together, do you mind telling us a little bit about what you did during COVID and your sessions of DJing through?
Oh yeah, no, I don't mind. So pretty much I got, like everyone else, just tired of, you know, being home, and I did start to see other DJs were going live, and so I finally was like, I kicked in my gears and was like, I'm gonna just do it. And yeah, I started, you know, I think I kind of outburned myself, just because I was like, I wasn't going anywhere. So like, I mean, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I was doing that. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like come the, work week, I was like, oh man, like I'm tired. Like maybe I need to cut back a little. But yeah, I have, it's funny you say that. You're probably like the fifth person to tell me like, when are you going to go live again? And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to bring it back for the people.
And the other thing that I was wondering if you could talk to us more about was just how has the community shaped your DJing, your skills, your exposure?
Oh man, that's a great question. My community, I mean, I would just say they have been the most supportive. I mean, ever since I started, I don't know anybody that has really been like, I mean, I'm about constructive feedback. So give me that feedback. But, I mean, really, I don't get that. I get a lot of love. People just, I'm playing the music that's community oriented. So it's like, and I learned that from like other DJs, like from my neighborhood. So as far as community goes, like those other DJs have definitely played footprints. Lisa G, she's played a footprint. Hugo played a footprint. Droops played a footprint. All these different community DJs have played a part into like, my playlist. So they definitely have helped, pretty much pave the way for me. As far as like, like sticking to what we all know as far as community, and then bam, it's like, I know what's going to get everybody on the floor, so. Yeah, I love my community. Shout out to the West Side.
I love that you threw out those names right there, because it just you just threw out exactly the people that I grew up with and that DJ'd at our quinceañeras and like just at different events, and just brings it home, because you're exactly right. You play for your community, and they give you the playlist pretty much, because they love.
Right. And I don't even think they realized it. So shout out to all of them, because I don't think they really realized how much of, an impact they've all played. Even DJ Smokestack.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like forget anybody.
No, I grew up with him. Yeah.
But a lot of the other DJs have helped, pave the way for me, and has made this journey a little more easier, because they are supportive, and we are all like a family. It's not any hating or anything. It's all love, so
I'm just like, that just shows your heart and like who you really are as a person, because that's the reason why I started this podcast. Like I didn't think anybody was ever going to come on it. But the thing is that if we don't get our voices out here and start saying those names, having you on and remembering, like you said, DJ Smokestack, Steve,
right.
Lisa, it's like they need to be spoken of, and people need to know about them and the amazingness that they've done for over the years to bring us all together as a community, and I think I'd give anything right now to be able to have that again. I'd be out in KCK, right, at that bar out there with my my friend Marissa, and it was an older school DJ, and they'd always play the oldies, and I'm always like, oh God, again, like, why can't we have any like hip hop? And they're always like, this isn't a hip hop crowd, go somewhere else. With all the older generations, and mad respect for them, and I would do anything right now to be in that spot again.
Right. Yeah, I definitely understand. The DJs, they're all doing their thing, and I love that, because like I really don't think they realize like how much I was looking, just like you said, people are looking at me, I was looking at them, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I could do this, like. So yeah, community is important though.
It really is.
It truly is, because it just shows the strength. And I'm so happy to hear that too. Like Deanna said, so happy to hear all about this, because honestly, I didn't even know. I really didn't. And now to hear that there's a whole community out there, and hoping that we hear more of that community, and just even realizing how much history there is in that, because you guys help us keep our culture alive as well,
Yeah, for sure.
All those songs, like all of those have stories. And again, like when I think about my childhood, I think about those songs, but I also think about the memories that come with it, the fun times, well, las quinceañeras that we were in, all these different things. So it's just listening to your story, honestly, Munch, has brought a lot of different reflections in my head of just thinking there's such a great community out there. We have so much support that it's so cool, Diana, that we have all of this to start sharing and making these connections.
Well, and I like that you were honest, Diosselyn, and you said you didn't really know those names. And there's probably a whole community out there, and especially our younger generation who probably doesn't know, like, the people that Munch just mentioned, that are still out there spinning, and doing some lives as well. I have so many people I'm connected to that I'm like live, and I'm like, but it's just kind of so cool to be able to see that all pop up because it's like they're still doing their thing, finding ways to reach out to the community for sure. Because I feel like our West Side community, our Northeast community, our East Side community, we're all one, especially when it comes to music.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
She just told me Johnny Keys was the bar. So sorry, I couldn't remember the name of the case. Johnny Keys. And I don't remember who the DJ was, and they're gonna kill me for that. So
hey, it happens.
There's just so much history there. There's so many connections out here. Our community is just wonderful. So talented.
So, Munch, what would you tell an aspiring DJ right now? Like what, or even our community, like anybody out there just wanting to do anything or prosper to do anything, what would your last words be, or not your last words, but your words be to them?
Pretty much don't give up. I mean, It's so easy to give up. Everybody could just say, I don't want to do it no more. But to actually like strive for what you want to do, stay passionate, and like I said, the roads are not always easy, like at all. I feel like those roads don't make you stronger. They make you that easy path isn't gonna build like that tough skin, that you're gonna need along the way. Hey, look, she said Bobby C. Yeah, Bobby C.
I'm gonna get killed out here.
Shout out to Bobby C.
Is that your cousin you said?
Yeah. That's my grandpa. That's actually my grandpa's cousin. So Bobby C has played a role on them oldies too, though.
Oh man,
they used to be playing all the good slaps.
All of them. Okay, see it now. I know this is amazing to be able to see what you're doing and to know that was part of your, history. Like that's where you came from. That's because Bobby C, man, you didn't ask for songs with him. He was like, "Nah, this is old school here."
Right? Yeah, shout out to Bobby C. I didn't mean to forget him, but
no, I did too. I feel terrible.
My mind went like a little blank when I started thinking about it. I was like, hold on, I should have wrote all these names down.
No, I'm so sorry that Angel couldn't make it this evening, but we had an amazing story with you, Munch. We are so excited to have you for the festival. Like I'm just so ready to kick it. It's only like a month away. To have you on there and feature you and to be able to play this podcast again. And so people can know, who you are and what you do and how you got here.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate your time. This was my first little thing like this. So I was shy. I was nervous. I was like, oh my God.
No way. Hey, everybody out there, you all got to invite Munch. Like whoever has a podcast, bring her on. Like she needs to be out there. That's how this all starts. Like, don't be shy. Like get a hold of her for sure. So how can people get a hold of you?
So just like Facebook, I have DJ Munch. You could search for me on there. Instagram, I'm on Snapchat. I mean, really all social medias, you can find me. So really I mostly utilize Facebook though.
Facebook. And
that's where a lot of my gigs come from.
And are you going to be doing lives again, you said? Hopefully maybe soon.
More than likely, yes. I'm gonna be trying to work on that. It's just a little time consuming with working and stuff, but
I feel you. I get it. But then once you're in it, you're like, I don't know why I didn't keep doing this,
Yeah, for sure.
And everybody down here is saying you did great. They're shouting out your name on these
Hey,
comments.
thank you guys.
You can feel the love. You can feel the love.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
At least I used to live across the street from Deanne, so old school neighbors and a community, and it's just so good to be on these platforms and be able to bring that community back and to have these stories kind of flow. And you don't realize how small Kansas City really is until you start talking to people, and it's like, what?
Right. And I just appreciate too, you like actually, people don't really hear my voice because I don't talk a lot. Like I don't really talk a lot either. Like I like to just let the music, speak for itself. Hey, shout out to Annie too. I see
And yeah, so it is. Yeah, I noticed that too, and so that's why I'm so glad that you were here and able to talk and like get out your story and share with other people and aspiring DJs as well. Anything I can do for you, like if you need anything, let me know. Diosselyn and I have been teaming up on all kinds of things, and we're here to help in any way because you deserve to have all that amazingness.
Thank you so much.
You have such a great heart. You're all about your community, and you're the type of person that needs to be like risen up and like told like, okay, what do you need? Let's get you up there for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, anything you need at all. So thank you.
Yeah.
Diosselyn, do you have any last words or anything you want to say?
Yeah, thank you so much, Munch. I really appreciate it. I was really looking forward to this. I'm glad you did this. And thank you for sharing your story. Honestly, you've taught me a lot of different things. I'm going to have to start doing some research on my own, to be honest.
About DJing?
Yes, about all this history. I'm curious about the history now because it's just, like you said, Kansas City is so small. And it's just every time that we get on this podcast, I always find a new story that just has a lot of roots in KC and from generations. Because Munch, that's generations that you mentioned of just the exposure that you had and all that story sharing that you do with your music as well, which I think makes it that much funner for us because maybe that's why we resonate so much with it, Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm glad you're going to be with us in the festival, and I'm looking here. Yes.
What day is that again? You said so the followers can see that.
Yes. So it's going to be the first day in September, so it has to be like a month, like a September 1st or September 2nd. I can't exactly remember, so it's one of those.
So real quick, so you're going to be like rolling out like a platform for Latino artists.
All Latino artists, Latino artists, you don't have to be experienced. If you just want to come on our broadcast, we do things like this. We're going to do it live like this with you. We'll actually get off the screen, so the person like you'll just be on it. It ain't going to be with us. Like we'll be behind the scenes. We'll be helping you with your comments, so people can still comment with you. But any artist can do the same thing, and then we can talk to you through here and like hype it up, or if you need help. And any artist, it's no cost. It's just an hour of your time.
I have some people in mind that might want to utilize the platform and whatnot. So it's good to know.
I'm telling you, people are kind of not sure about how this works, but I was given this gift, and I'm just trying to give it all back. And nothing costs here. You just got to take up an hour of your time, however long, and get your voice out there.
And so, if they want to be a part of it, do they have to like just message you or? Okay.
Yeah, just message me. You have my email. Munch, share it, send it. And Diosselyn is helping you with the calendar. So we'll get you scheduled correctly. And in August, we're going to start laying out all the marketing for it. So you'll know exactly where you are, what time is good for you. And we work around your schedule. We're not going to work around ours. So you're going to probably have to let us know like what day and time since you work. And that's the best time. So even like a Saturday night, whatever. It doesn't have to be the first week in September. It could be that Saturday, the first Saturday, whatever,
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
So what I'm hearing is that we need to get prepared to start dancing.
Hey.
And hip hop, like all the new school, everything. Yes, and that way when like they said, when the quarantine's over, it'll be like, whoop, all these people should be coming in, swooping you down for events and get you all going there. Yeah. So we'll work with you offline about what day and times work for you. We wanted you on here so that everybody would know who you were, and then we'll get you started in September. But yeah, send any names to me and Diosselyn. Anyone that you think's interested. It doesn't have to be an artist. It could be like somebody just want to get their story out. We're just here.
Hey, okay. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for the comments. And we'll see you next time for sure.